Alrighty, folks, want to welcome you back to another, set of videos of buying online and beware and watching out for what's going on. In the old days, buying online, if you looked online, most of the places that were selling things were reputable, were good places. Nowadays, there's a lot of really shady places out there. So, from me and my YouTube, Yates Computer Tips and Reviews, I've decided to do a little video set on this. So, this is the beware. The beware part is not necessarily only to buying online nowadays. If you go and you watch some other videos, you'll start hearing about a lot of these, I will call them bait and switch. This used to be a problem in the old days where they would advertise a certain thing, make the sale, but give you something else. That was a bait and switch. I think a lot of these companies are still doing this now. There's companies getting basically caught sending people things for reviews, getting reviews on a certain product. Once people have bought this product, they complain it's not performing the way the person who reviewed it as. It's not getting the same results. Well, it's been found now that they have some of these products and they've opened them up and they're not the same product. Chips are different. They're not the same product as what they sent out originally for the reviewers to review. So this is a big beware out there right now, because you can go and do your homework and you can do research, but depending on what the product is, it might be not a good product. There's been incidents with SD cards, phony Chinese SD cards that have been bought at retail stores that have been tested and proven to be fraudulent, no good, and then they've had to go back and deal with the store to exchange it, refund it, whatever they needed to do, because it is not a legit product. This problem is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Now with the pandemic, a lot of these fraudsters and scammers and all these other people have shifted to trying to sell fake products. Around Christmas time, on Facebook, they were advertising Christmas lights. There were a set of Christmas lights I've been looking at trying to get for a long time. There was a few little tip-offs. I looked really closely through the site and I thought, well, maybe this guy's trying to make some additional money off of his business that isn't doing so well due to the pandemic. Well, it was one of these sites where you ordered it and the major tip-off was they only accepted PayPal. I went, okay, well, that's not too bad of a trade-off, because if you know PayPal's policies, usually you have a good protection. But there's also a reason why they don't take Visa, MasterCard, American Express and all this other stuff, because if you're a business, you know what you have to go to be able to run those cards as a business. So this is part of what I wanted to bring up. So I keep seeing these things keep coming up. Oh, come here and buy this. And it's another thing where it's these fly-by-night stores that open that only accept PayPal. All this product is supposedly being mailed from China. Well, with my case is I ordered the biggest set because it was the best value and I knew I could use them in more locations. What I got was the very minimum. Not even the right color, not anything. They just sent out one little package so they could have a tracking number, so that they could dispute that that's what came in that package. But what I did is when that package finally came in, I took a picture of that package sealed, package of it just barely open, and a package of what was there. So what I ordered could not possibly have fit in that size of a package. So it was really easy for me to win the dispute. But this is not something every home user, business user, anybody should have to deal with. Now you have major companies that are selling products that aren't even the right product that was reviewed. And I can guarantee they're all crying, oh, it's a chip shortage, we had to get what we could get, blah, 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 blah. No. You're a business representing yourself, like I am. You do not mislead people. You do not sell products that you do not advertise as that product. You can different version it, you can relabel the box, you can do other factors. I have at least one other person that I've seen online calling for changes on this. This needs to be enforced. And not only by us people out there trying to warn people and by the people who buy the product, but I want the people, the investors, the stockholders, everybody else in these companies to be held accountable and to hold these companies accountable for what they're doing. Because ultimately, if they don't have what they need to make the proper product, do not make it. Wait till you get the proper pieces and product you need to put your pieces together to make what you are selling. But what they're too busy trying to do is make that profit for all the investors and to make their business look good. When ultimately, all that does is really hurt your business because now you're selling junk. You are hurting your reputation out there. What is that company worth when someone buys an SD card and it does not work? It's proven to be fake. It's proven not to be the capacity it's supposed to be. You know, you open it up and you can see it's not the right chips. You have these guys that have taken products apart and shown you what they are reviewing. They show you the insides. There's a couple good, reputable people out there on YouTube, other than me, that actually show you what they are actually reviewing. They break it down, they show you parts, they take heat sinks off, they take it all completely apart and show you the inside of these things. This is important to hold these companies accountable. You know, here you have another one that really burns me right now is these video card manufacturers. There's a certain one, I'm not going to mention names, but I'm sure everybody knows about it. You cannot get video cards. There's a chip shortage, there's a lot of problems, but they keep releasing more versions of a video card that you cannot possibly get. That is why I'm not covering video cards at all right now. I would love to cover some video cards. I would love to brief people on this stuff. But actually, it's such a joke to me, I will not cover it. This is about all I'm going to cover because it's in this Be Aware. Because these companies are more interested in their profits and their bottom lines than the shopper, the retailer, the owner of these products. They want to point the finger at, oh, it's this certain group, or it's the chip shortage, or it's this, or it's that. But as a business, you have the control of how you want to distribute your product. You have the ways, you have the means, and you know, if I decide to make a new video card, and I know I can only manufacture about 5,000 of those a year, I would not come out and mass market that. I would let people know this is a limited quantity, this is how many as we can do, blah, 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 Because I want to be honest to people. Because you've had other people out there that were excited about this new video card to put it in their system that sold their old video card to someone else, expecting to get the new one to put in. Well, now they have nothing. Absolutely nothing, because they counted on you as a business to follow through on what you said you were going to do. This is the same thing with all these online stores. They don't follow through with what they're supposed to. So I wanted to make this video to be aware. I want you to know, go do some more homework. Go see these things. This stuff is going on. So you are aware that to really look more closely nowadays, because even though someone's advertising something that it might not be truly what's in there, it may not be due to that manufacturer of the PC you're buying, because they bought a part from someone else who is being disruptive and changing parts and doing things they shouldn't be doing because they want to increase the bottom line by pumping out product, but that product is not what was reviewed. So even with me, I've done a couple little reviews. That's another reason why I've been trying to hold off on so many of these reviews. I've been trying to give you the basics on differences between keyboards and mice and a few other things, because these reviewers are getting reviews from stuff, and then the product that's out there on the market is not what's being reviewed, or you can't even get it. So I wanted to do this video to elaborate this, to make sure that if anybody's watching me and watching some of these other streamers, viewers, creators, whatever you want to call us, that I am confirming what they are saying. Because that's what we need. We need to have a community that comes together that confirms the same information. We need a community of people telling you, okay, when you put something in, they give you all the facts. Not just, hey, you put your video card in, boom, and put driver in and plug it in and you're good to go. There's a lot more variables to it. Especially these new ones. These new ones need such huge power supplies. They use so much voltage. They need so much stuff. You need to have a certain kind of CPU, so much power, so much, There's a lot of variables that if you have an older computer and you slap that video card in, you're not going to get the performance. So these are some of the bewares out there. Not like you're ever going to find this video card, and if you do, it's going to be so overpriced because what they said the price should be, but because of the demand and because they're not making the product like they're supposed to be, and they keep releasing more and more SKUs and more different products instead of making the ones people actually need, is causing a bigger problem. So I wanted to point these factors out, especially if you're a business looking to upgrade. We have another Windows version coming out. So that's another beware. Because people are going to probably start dumping computers at a low price that may not be fully compatible with the new Windows. Motherboards or something else might not be compatible. So that's another beware. Really watch what's going on. Yes, it's been announced there's a new Windows version coming out. Go ahead, research it, look it up. There's not a whole lot of details out right now, but by the time this video comes out, there will be more details, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be out by then. So that's why I'm bringing this subject up. That's why I'm elaborating it, to explain it to you now. Because if I do a video, it's going to be later on. So I wanted to make sure everybody's aware of that. That's part of the beware. Because you're going to start seeing these little weird things going on. You're going to go, oh, this is a great deal. Just be careful. There's a reason why that's a great deal. They're going to sell you that it's a great deal. We just had a couple websites that advertise these great deals are coming, these great deals are coming, all these great deals. And I went on there and I started to laugh. There was no good deals. You know how many purchases I made in that week? 0. They were the worst deals I've ever seen. Lies and betrayals. There was no deals there. So this is another beware. It used to be when you advertised they were having a sale, it was really a sale. There was one thing I looked at that I already had bought. I needed new pants. I know this doesn't have to do with computers, but this is the beware. I went on that site that was advertising that product was on sale for their sale for $24.99. I went to the manufacturer site and found it for $19.99. What a deal. You're advertising these great deals that you're going to be having, and your price was higher. You didn't even manage the manufacturer. So, that's another thing. Shop around. Don't listen to all these, oh, we're going to have a great deal, we're going to have a great sale. No. Shop it around. If you find something online that someone's advertising for $19.95, Google it. You're probably going to find somewhere else that has that same thing cheaper or at the same price, but one's charging shipping, one's not. You're probably going to find a better deal. I've always done this for a long, long time. A lot of times it would take me to eBay, and I'd buy the product over there for a lot less than what they were advertising. Or sometimes it would take me to another store, a big box store or somewhere else that kind of surprised me they carried that product and it was that cheap. So this is part of the beware. Really shop around, because now they're telling you all of these things and they're not true. It's not a great deal. It's not what you think you're getting. So I wanted to sum this up with that. I have a couple more videos coming that'll go into some more details, covering probably the same subjects I covered, but more details. Because it's hard to see this stuff go on, and for me to go on and look at something and go, why are they trying to cheat and scam people? Why don't you give people the legitimate price? Why do you hide these things? Why do you hide fees? Why do you hide this and hide that? Trying to make it look like you got a great deal. Right now, the big one that I've had a problem with is hotels. Resort fees, parking fees, all these other fees that they all are tacking on secretively, because now there's all these companies out there that guarantee they're going to give you the lowest rate on that room. Beware! This is the big beware. Does not include your taxes and fees. It says that on that paperwork. It says it on the thing. You have to go to that hotel's website to see what other fees and taxes and other things are included. Because we've gotten rooms and we got there and then they're like, oh, by the way, it's an extra $35 a day for the resort fee, and a parking and this. You're like, wait a minute. How do we get a hotel room, but we have to pay a resort fee and a parking and all these other fees? So how do we have that room? So we paid $70 for that room that we can't even get into because we have to pay another $50 in fees before we can get into it. How did we get that room for $70? We didn't. It's a fraud, it's a lie, it's a betrayal. It's not a good way to do business. That's why it's on here. It's a big beware to let everybody know. Be careful online. They're playing a lot of games right now. So I'll wrap this one up and get ready for the next one.